You know, if you live somewhere like Pitt Meadows where it can really pour, you probably know that feeling when you see big puddles forming near your house. You start wondering, is this going to cause problems? It's a simple issue, right? But it needs a really strong fix. So today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. Concrete drainage services. Our mission, using info from the Source website about these services in Pitt Meadows, is to figure out exactly how concrete drainage keeps homes and whole neighborhoods safe and dry. What makes it work?
Yeah, it's a good question. Essentially, what we're talking about is kind of like giving your property armor against water. It's not just digging a trench. It's about installing properly engineered, really robust systems. Think heavy-duty concrete channels, maybe some underground catch basins. The whole point is to make sure rainwater moves away quickly where it's supposed to go so you don't get flooding or that slow wearing away of the soil, the erosion.
Okay, let's unpack that. Concrete specifically. Why is concrete the hero material here? I mean, aren't there cheaper options like plastic pipes, maybe? The source materials we looked at kept mentioning durability, but why is that so vital in Pitt Meadows?
Right, durability is key. And it's partly about where Pitt Meadows is. You know, being near the river, maybe a higher water table. The soil conditions can be tricky. So durability isn't just about lasting a long time, it's almost a structural thing. Concrete, well, it doesn't rust or corrode like metal can. And importantly, it won't warp or crack under that constant pressure from water in the ground, not like plastic might over, say, 20 or 30 years. So you get a system that lasts ages and needs very little looking after, that makes it cheaper in the long run.
Okay, that makes sense for longevity. But what about the specific parts? You mentioned channels and catch basins. How do those actually work during a big downpour?
Yeah, good question. So the main systems you see are things like stormwater drains, often lined with concrete, or concrete culverts. Those are the big pipes that run under driveways or roads. They're designed to handle a large volume of water and just channel it away quickly. And catch basins are important too. They're like the entry points into the underground system. They usually have a grate on top to catch leaves and trash debris so the main pipes don't get clogged up.
Ah, okay. So the concrete provides the strong, reliable pathways for the water. Let's switch gears a bit. For a homeowner thinking about this, maybe looking at the info on that Pitt Meadows Concrete Services website, what are the big wins? Beyond just, not having water in the basement.
Oh, there are definitely big wins. It really comes down to safety and money, basically. First off, flood safety. Good drainage is just crucial for reducing flood risk, especially in built-up neighborhoods. Less flooding means way less chance of expensive damage to your house, your belongings, and sometimes it can even mean slightly lower home insurance costs over time.
Okay, lower risk, potentially lower costs. What else?
Well, think about selling your house down the line. A home with a solid, reliable drainage system. That's a big plus for buyers. It just feels safer, more secure. So having a professional concrete system installed, according to the materials we saw, can actually boost your property's value. It takes away a major worry for the next owner.
That's a good point. Removes a potential headache for buyers.
Okay.
But the website materials also warned about installation. What happens if it's done badly? You mentioned concrete is robust, but what if the setup is wrong?
Yeah, that's a really critical point. Because concrete is strong, if it's not installed perfectly, the problems can be serious. It's not forgiving. The biggest issue is usually the slope, the grading. If those concrete channels or pipes aren't angled just right, water won't flow properly, it might move too slowly, or worse, it just sits there. It pools.
Cools inside the system.
Or near it, yeah. And that stagnant water, that's bad news. It can soak the ground right next to your foundation, leading to potentially very expensive structural damage. And standing water is also, a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. Plus, dampness encourages mold growth, things you definitely don't want right by your house.
Wow, so a bad installation could actually make things worse. It turns the solution into a new problem.
Exactly. The strength of the concrete doesn't matter if it's not put in correctly by people who really know what they're doing. That experience is key.
So the takeaway message is pretty clear then. What this all boils down to is that in places like Pitt Meadows with heavy rain, maybe tricky soil, investing in properly installed concrete drainage isn't just a nice to have, it's a smart, practical choice. It protects your home, protects your investment in the long run, keeps things dry and safe.
Definitely. And looking ahead, it's interesting. While we focused on the concrete itself, the physical structure, experts are already thinking about the next steps. Our source info hinted at this. Things like smart drainage systems. Imagine sensors in the drains monitoring water flow in real time. Maybe systems that could automatically adjust things like open floodgates or turn on pumps based on how much rain is actually falling.
That raises a really interesting question for the future, doesn't it? How much faster, how much smarter can new technology make us at dealing with floods, even using simple, strong materials like concrete? Something to think about. How tech keeps improving even basic infrastructure to protect our homes and towns. End of deep dive.